Hello and welcome to everyone. Today's guest is MMA fighter Yoni Sherbatov. Can you please put a brief introduction, tell few words about yourself so we can continue? Go for it, Yoni.
Hi guys, you said it well. My name is Yoni Sherbatov. I'm a professional MMA fighter. I did in 2016 the Ultimate Fighter. I fought in Italy. I fought in the States. I'm still in the sport. I even did professional boxing here in Quebec, Canada. I'm born in Russia, Moscow, and then moved with the family to Canada. So I'm a Canadian citizen and been training here in Canada for all my life now.
When did you start training? When you say all my life, at the age of 3, 4, 5.
I started martial arts at age of 6. Now I'm 31, so it's been a lot of a lot of years, 25 years in martial arts.
It's awesome. Do you have a nickname or not? Haven't heard someone calling you via nickname.
I did. It's been 2 years. People call me Baba Yaga. I have no. Maybe I scare people before going in the octagon.
What does
So
it mean?
yeah,
Does it mean something in Russian or?
it's like the boogeyman. That's how we scare the kids. So this is a little trick that we scare the kids to listen to us at the house. If you don't listen, I'll call Baba Yaga. She's gonna come get you. You know. So it's kind of like
In Serbian and Bulgarian we have very similar word. I mean, it's babaroga or babauga. We have very
Babuga.
similar. Yeah, we have
Yeah.
very similar words. So that's the first thing that came to my mind. Who are your coaches?
So for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I have Fabio Holanda is the main instructor of the Brazilian top team in Quebec, Canada. And for boxing, it's Mark Ramsey. For wrestling is Gia Susuri. My God, for MMA is Nigel Scantlebury. And I did change a bit of my surroundings. I did bring a specialist. For example, Richard Ho he's a trainer from Quebec to prepare my last MMA fight that I had not long ago. So I have an amazing team. My brother takes care of preparing the general uh, training preparation, the plan. Boris Sherbatov has been with me since I started my professional career. So I have a lot of great trainers around me.
It's
And
awesome.
definitely, I have one very good trainer. I forgot to name him Jarek Kulesza. He's a conditioning instructor, Polish guy. He's amazing conditioning preparation trainer. Yeah.
Yeah, fabulous. You mentioned boxing. So I assume boxing is your fundamental martial art or not?
I've been boxing at a very young age. Yes, it's one of my fundamental sport. Boxing, wrestling, but yes, boxing was my number one go-to since my young since I'm a baby. My dad's holds pads for me, so I've been boxing all my life.
So I assume your favorite strike is a boxing one, right?
Yes, I believe I'm very good wrestler, good Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, but I believe hands it's the money maker. So if I have the chance to throw my big punches to my opponent, I'll do it because it's a business, it's a show. I don't like to cuddle.
Since you're a punching expert, the way you say, what do you think of BKFC?
The bare knuckle.
Yes, yes.
Oh, I heard about it. It's crazy. I love it. Why not? Beautiful show. People are happy. Guys are fighting. It's a real deal. It's like you're fighting the street with rules. I mean, I love those rules. At the end, you need rules because or else it becomes barbarian. So this is great. Yes, I like it.
Yeah, I interviewed many BKFC fighters and they are claiming that MMA guy has better chances than a boxer because in MMA gloves are thinner. So many of them said that. So what do you think about that? I mean, you wore boxing gloves and MMA gloves. Can you
Yeah.
go?
Uh, when you remove the padding, you have less willing to get in. So you have always a distance like MMA fighters. When we have small gloves, we keep a distance. So because it hurts, it cuts. With small gloves, imagine no gloves. You have more damage, more physical damage. I don't think brain damage because you throw less punches and compare of boxers. Boxers bigger pad, more throws, so they stick in face to face. So I think yes, we're used to understanding the right distance when we're fighting our opponent. That's my idea. I think that's why we have more chances than a boxer.
Before we start with your MMA career, can you please pinpoint to the greatest achievements of your boxing career, maybe your opponents, maybe the most important dates and so on? Go for it.
My boxing career, it was I did amateur. I went to Golden Gloves semifinals. Then I went to pro boxing. I have two pro boxing. I knocked the guy out the first fight. Second went to distance. But my career in boxing, I used this to keep myself active for MMA. Because in MMA, it's hard to get fights. Really hard. And boxing is a different story. Boxing, you can fight every 2 months or every month if your promoter wants to invest money on you. So yes, I used boxing to stay active, but my number one career was MMA.
All right. Now let's go to MMA. Can you discuss your first professional fight? I guess this was the fastest stoppage ever, right?
Yeah, it was, my God, under a minute, 40 seconds. I was nervous. I fought so many amateur fights in my life. I have over 300 amateur fights, different sports. This, coming in the fight, I'm like, oh my God, this is another game. This is different. This is another opponent, small gloves, who wants to hurt you. It's not an amateur. One loss, you look bad. You might make an X in your career. So a lot of this going through my mind, and the fact that I have gyms in Quebec, it's nervous. It was a nerve-wracking going in, but the moment it rang, and the first kick or punch, I don't remember what was the first impact. The game changed. Combinations, opponent fell down, and that's what everything just changed in my career. Opened up, became comfortable, and had fun for the rest of my fights.
Psychologically, this was one of the hardest or one of the best moments of your career? Because from what you said now, it looked scary at the beginning, right?
You know what? This was the balance of I want to continue or I don't want to do this. It's like I want to do it or I don't want to do it. And it gave me that amazing feeling of, first of all, the surrounding, the environment, the people. Not the same in amateur. Professional, it's another. It's literally another feeling where you don't have that window of chance to lose. So there's so much pressure on you. But the moment you pass this, feel great, man. So yes, it was good and bad, but it ended up good.
What happened in your next MMA fight?
Then I had great wins. I mean, I won. I finished with an armbar. One of my second or third fight. I had an amazing record of winning fights, knocking people out. Then I got a fight. Then I won a belt. I won the Canadian XFFC. It was I fought against the best Canadian fighter. I beat him in 45 seconds with an uppercut. Then after this, I had
Was it Freddy Artaga or Adrian Woolley? Who?
Yeah, Willie, Bully, yeah, him. Man, he was huge. He was. I was not expecting that. When we did the weigh-ins, he looked like me. You know, I'm like, oh, not that big. So good my height, 5'4". In the octagon, I will never forget. I turned around, I looked at my brother. I'm like, what is this monster, man? This is not a 125er. It looks like a 145er, 155er, you know. But you know what? First jab, felt the distance, understood his striking, and I throw my big punch, my left, shaked him a bit, made him come close to me, and then used the timing to slip and finish with an uppercut, knocked him out. Great guy, loved him. I spoke to him after. We had a chance to talk many times. I even brought him for a training camp to prepare for one of my fights against Zach Makovsky. So, I mean, yeah, was an important fight in my career because of that, it opened the door for the Ultimate Fighter.
I need to ask you before Ultimate Fighter, I heard some myths about Tyson Nam. I want to tell me whether it's true or not. People are saying that this guy never gets fatigued. Is it true or not?
Tyson Nam, man, this guy is a special opponent. When I fought against him, I broke my hand on his head. I just did my surgery. I put my metacarpals together. I fused my bones. At the second round, broke my hand, continued fighting, did my elbow, but he never stopped. He was just in front of me. And any impact I was throwing, it was literally just like taking off his blood. You know, I was just walking like a zombie. Great fight against him. A great fighter. I had a draw against him because of one of the kicks. I kicked him under the belt. They removed a point for me at the second round, and this has created a draw against him. But yes, you're right. He's an unstoppable machine.
So it's true, right?
Yes. I was even shocked after the fight when we went to see the doctors. He was bleeding from his ears, and he was still smiling and without even breathing heavy. I'm like, man, amazing. You're just like a robot.
Can you talk your TUF 24 run?
So, top 24, amazing moment. So I went inside with amazing group of people, met amazing people. Because of that, it opened a lot of doors. I went in this Ultimate Fighter with huge injury. Broken hand. I lied in front of the doctors when they were touching my hand. I said this was my only chance to walk in the UFC. But imagine in my brain, so there are people holding me back. I'm hitting. I'm in pain, but I have to keep a smile and act like nothing's going on. I went in, fought against a great opponent. I thought, went in without throwing a lot of punches, couldn't really use my left hand, went to a wrestling background, got dead, exhausted. I was, second round, I couldn't even breathe anymore. I was like, what the hell, this guy's just heavy, and my hands were heavy. So I lost. I used this, I thought, you know what, this is a learning curve when you have to listen to yourself and say, you know what, when you're injured, don't act like a superhero. Fix yourself, because this is a not forgettable sport. People can create a mark over your head, and that's what happened with me. You know, Yoni doesn't want to finish. It's not that I don't want to finish. I love finishing. I want to finish everybody. It's just that circumstances didn't help me at all. But amazing experience. If I had the chance, I would go back and do it again.
So yeah, if the opportunity opens up for Dana White Contender Series, I'm sure you will accept it. Definitely.
Yeah.
How did you finish Martin Sandoval?
With an amazing kick in right to the liver. So Martin Sandoval was an interesting opponent. Walking in the fight, I couldn't use again my hands, so I said we worked a lot on the kicks. That's why if you look after the Ultimate Fighter, I use a lot of kicks. So he was a good striker and a lot of experience over me. So I said, okay, how to stop my opponent? And because a lefty versus a righty, it's very hard to stop a lefty opponent kicks to the liver. So it was an open the door. I kind of like we clinched each other, had knees going on. We pushed back, kicked to the liver. It took me under a minute, if I'm not mistaken. I finished the fight. And if you watch the fight, I didn't jump on him. He was on the floor screaming. And I believe, there's a certain, it's martial arts, there's a respect behind martial arts, so I didn't jump and finish him. It was done already, so that's it. He was screaming.
Can you talk your transition to ACB? How was it? I mean, is it harder to fight at ACB? How was your run? Are you satisfied, or do you think Russian guys are stronger, or what do you think?
Man, I love the guys there, the Chechens, the Dagestanis, and man, these just the promotion. Promotion was a little bit of hard to communicate, from because we're different countries. Promotion was going everywhere. It was hard to create an opportunity to fight. I mean, they gave me Zach Makovsky. Thank God. I signed with ACB because I knew Zach Makovsky was there. When I heard Zach Makovsky signed with the ACB, I'm excited. I knew that's a big opening door for me. And after that, it was a little bit slow, getting fights. Then got injured with my shoulder, so we pushed back the fight. And they gave me another opponent. It's just, it's all about promotion. But again, everywhere in the world, promotions it's hard to deal with fighters and find money and great show. So it was just, it was time for me to separate with ACB, to find something else closer towards my house. I still wanted to fight for the UFC or Bellator. I wanted to fight with the American League. That was my goal after Zach Makovsky.
How did you finish Luis Solorzano?
Luis, remind me a bit. I forgot. The Brazilian guy?
Yep.
He finished me. What the hell?
No. After that fight.
Oh my God! I forgot. Yes, I forgot about him.
Felipe Silva finished you.
There's a Brazilian guy. Yeah. What was his name again?
Luis Solorzano.
Rosano. That was in Quebec. I fought against him.
Yes.
Yes. Man, what a fight! Hey, can you believe it? This fighter was. Man, I love fighting against him. He was Mexican.
All right.
What a tough fighter! These guys, it's like a candy surprise. I don't know if you know this. A candy surprise, like the egg with the chocolate, and when you open, there's a toy inside. You don't know what kind of toy is it. Yeah. This is Mexican, man. You never know what's inside. These guys are tough, hard-headed, with techniques. And when I fought against him, I thought I finished him first round. He kind of dropped, but man, he survived. He survived all the 3 rounds. And he gave me a good opposition, kicked me to my calves a lot. I had a big calf after the fight. Before the fight, the day before, so I have 3 kids, okay? And it was summer, and my wife, I think she was pregnant. It was hot. She needed a machine to put the air conditioner, and I brought it down, and I stepped on the cord, and I fall down the stairs. If you notice on my fight, I have like a sucking cup on my back. So I tried to. I went the same day to the doctor. The next before the fight, I was at the osteopath. Saw the physiotherapy. Saw my muscle therapist. I'm like, man, you just fight. Be careful. What a crazy moment. It was the most funniest experience I lived in my life. So yeah, a great opponent.
A great opponent. I guess you enjoyed that one. Would you like to add something to this interview? Maybe something we missed?
I signed with Steve. It's my new manager. He Ruby promotion. Ruby it's a company management team. So when the quarantine is gonna get better, I mean I'm training. My hand is getting better. I finished the surgery. It went well. Had my surgery on my knees. Everything is perfect. I'm like back to Yoni Sherbatov before my injuries. I'm excited. And guys, stay tuned. Follow me on Yoni Sherbatov Instagram. You'll be seeing a lot of new upcoming events for me. That's it. And thank you for your time and putting me on the video and having a great conversation together. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this. I will now let it create. I hope to publish in next 3-4 hours, depending on the program that creates it. All right. Thank you. Have a
Perfect.
great day, Yoni.
You too. Take care.